Now let's kind of talk about put options. Okay, so put options, somebody buys a put option if he has a view that the price of the underlying asset is going to fall down. Okay, he buys a put option if his view is that the price of the underlying asset is going to fall down. So let's kind of assume once again Bank Nifty is kind of trading at 19,800 right now. Okay, Bank Nifty is trading at 19,800 right now. My view is that Bank Nifty is going to fall down to 19,500. So what do? I buy a put option. Okay, I buy a put option whose strike is let's say 19,500. I buy a put option whose strike is 19,500. Now, somebody else on the other hand side, they have a view Bank Nifty is not going to fall below 19,500. The other person has a view the Bank Nifty is not going to fall below 19,500. So he is the one who is the selling the put option or the put writer. So he sells a put option at 19,500 and I buy a put option at 19,500. So since the price is trading at 19,800 now, so let's kind of say that, let's kind of assume that right now the premium of this contract is 100 rupee. 100 rupee is the present premium. Okay. Now let's take a situation that the price actually moves in my direction according to my view. The price actually falls down to 19,500, or let's say the price actually falls down to 19,400. Okay, so by now, when the price has actually dropped down to 19,400, my view was it is going to fall down to 19,500. It has fell below that also. So it's like a jackpot for me. Okay, it has fell below the strike. The premium has become in the money. In the sense, the contract has become in the money. We'll discuss about in the money, at the money, OTM, all these things. So before that, let me explain this. Okay. Now what happens is, as my view is right, so within the desired period of time, so within the expiry, within the desired period of time, the price has actually dropped below this value. What is going to happen is, definitely the premium will increase. I got into the contract by paying a premium of 100 rupee. Now, since the price has moved in the direction, according to my view, maybe the premium must have become, let's say, 400 rupee. It is something that I bought for 100 rupee. Now the price has actually moved according to my view. The premium must have actually even become 400 or 300 rupee. So if I want, before the expiry, I can exit my position. I can actually pass on this contract to somebody else. And he in return will be paying a premium of 350 rupee. So 350 minus 100, that is 250 rupee is the profit that I take. So 250 per share. So 250 into the lot size. In this case, lot size is 20. So once again, 250 into 20, 5,000 rupees is the profit that I take. The risk I took in this is 100 into 20. So 2,000 rupee is the risk that I took. I was capable of making 5,000 rupee. Okay. So this is how a put buyer gets benefited. Okay, this is how a put buyer gets benefited. Now, if you're kind of thinking, what about the put writer or the put seller? He made a loss. So the profit that you make is definitely somebody else's loss, right? So the put writer who got into this contract, whose view is that the price is not going to go below 19,500, he is the one who kind of takes this loss, and his loss is what becomes your profit. Okay, so this is the case of put option and call option. So as an option buyer, you get profited if your view is right. The price of the underlying asset moves in the direction according to your view. Okay, it doesn't just have to move according to your view in that particular direction. It has to reach that particular price within the fixed amount of time that your view is in. Okay, that is our expiry. So within that fixed amount of time, the price has to move towards your targets as per your view, but also within the fixed amount of time that you have mentioned as per the contract. So earlier case, in our example, we were talking about a 2 months period. You are going to buy the property after 2 months. So 2 months was the expiry. Okay. In the case of options, especially the index options, we have weekly expiries. So we mainly, like most of the people, they actively participate as option buyer, they actively participate in the monthly options and the weekly options, whose expiry is like there is an expiry every Thursday. Okay, so every Thursday there is an expiry. So your view has to be right within that expiry date. Okay, Now, something else that you should be very much careful about is theta decay. So this is the enemy of an option buyer. So let it be a call option buyer or let it be a put option buyer. So this is our enemy. Okay, theta decay. To understand theta decay better, I'll give you an example. So if I'm kind of asking you how many cases of coronavirus are there in India today, you'll just check Google, you'll check the live data, you'll tell me the correct value. If I'm asking you what is going to be the number of corona cases tomorrow, how will you answer? You just see the trend, how the number of cases has been increasing. You'll kind of figure out what the trend is, how the number of cases has been increasing. Based on that, you'll tell me a value. Right? You'll tell me a value, how many cases of corona are going to be expected for tomorrow based on the prehistoric data. You'll be able to do that. Now, if I kind of ask you, what is going to be the number of cases of corona after 1 month? So, which one would be more tougher to predict? The number of cases of corona after 1 month or the number of cases of corona after 1 day? What is your answer? What would be the answer? Definitely, number of cases of corona after 1 month is going to be tougher to be predicted rather than the number of cases of corona after 1 day, right? So let's kind of consider that we are kind of getting into a contract. If your view is right, you make money. If your view is wrong, you make loss. Okay, so where do you think you'll be having to pay a higher premium to get into a contract? For 1 month or for 1 day? Definitely for 1 month, right? So definitely for 1 month you'll be having to pay a higher premium because it is like a little bit far away event. It's kind of a bit tough to predict. Okay, now one more example I'll give you. Okay, so let's go back to the property example. So the property is costing 1 crore rupees today. Okay, the price of the property is 1 crore rupees today. Now I'm giving you a option. Okay, I'm giving you an option. So your option is to predict the price of the property after 1 week. Okay, so if the price of the property goes above 1 crore, okay, forget about 1 crore. Let's say if the price of the property goes above 1 crore, 1 lakh in a week, okay, you can, whatever the price it may be, whenever it goes above 1 crore, 1 lakh, you can purchase the property for 1 crore, 1 lakh itself. So the contract is such that whatever the price of the property is after 1 week, you'll be able to purchase it for 1 crore, 1 lakh itself. Today the price is 1 crore. So this contract will expire after 1 week. Now, according to you, which would be a good premium to pay? So would you be willing to pay a premium of 1 lakh rupee? No, definitely, because the present price is 1 crore itself. Okay, even if after 1 week the price becomes 1 crore, 1 lakh, you won't be able to, you won't be profitable, right? Because you're paying a premium of 1 crore. So effectively you end up paying 1 crore, 1 lakh itself. But if I kind of give you an option of getting into this contract by paying just 10,000 rupee, just 10,000 rupee you have to pay. Today the price is 1 crore. I'm telling you, I'm going to sell it to you for 1 crore, 1 lakh, whatever the price it may be. After 1 week, whatever the price it may be, I'll sell it to you for 1 crore, 1 lakh. Now you might be a bit willing, because let's say after 1 week, if it goes to 1 crore, 2 lakhs. Okay, 1 crore, 2 lakhs it goes to, you're paying a premium of 10,000. And effectively, you have to pay only 1 crore, 1 lakh. You make a profit of 90,000 there itself. Because after 1 week, the price is going to be 1 crore, 2 lakh. 10,000 rupee you pay as premium to get into the contract, and you are able to purchase it for 1 crore, 1 lakh itself. Right. So you'll be willing to pay that premium of 10,000. But when I mentioned 1 lakh rupee, you were not willing. Why? Because you understand. See, after 1 week also, if the price goes to 1 crore, 1 lakh, okay, right now the price is 1 crore. After 1 week, if the price goes to 1 crore, 1 lakh, effectively you'll be paying 1 crore, 1 lakh, plus on top of that, this 1 lakh premium that you pay. Effectively you will pay 1 crore, 2 lakh. Why do you do that? You can purchase it from the market itself for 1 crore, 1 lakh. Right. So I hope that makes sense to you. That is the reason, like the far away expiries, like the premium will be much higher. So it is kind of more difficult to predict what is going to happen to the price, or what is going to happen, what situation is going to happen at a far away time. So the option seller, as I mentioned, he is the one who is going to take a lot of risk, right? He's the person who is taking more risk. So definitely he'll kind of take a higher premium. Okay. One more example I'll give you. So this will kind of clear all concepts related to this. Let's say two people are approaching an insurance company. So one person is actually suffering from heart disease. He is diabetic. He is having issues with his kidneys. Okay. Now one more person is there. He is a healthy individual. He doesn't have any problems. Who will kind of pay a higher premium to the insurance company? Definitely, the healthier person will pay a lesser premium, and the person with a lot of diseases is going to pay a higher premium. Why? Because the insurance company feels that the healthy person, like there is less probability that such mishaps can happen, and the person with a lot of diseases, there's a high probability mishaps can happen, and hence the insurance company will charge the person who is less healthier a more premium, because they know they can face a lot of risk in this case. In the case of the person with diabetes, heart issues and all, the insurance company can face a lot of issues. They'll have to undertake a lot of risk. Hence, they'll charge a higher premium. Similarly, that is the case with an expiry that is kind of a bit far away and an expiry that is very close. See, a close by event, you can kind of somewhat get a sense of understanding how it is going to be. But an event or an expiry that is kind of a bit far away, the probability of you predicting will be kind of lesser, in the sense that it will be kind of more riskier for you. So due to the very same reason, far away expiries, the premium that you kind of have to pay is going to be higher.